Hey guys, welcome back to the Ride Waxing and UK One Wheel channel. So we are back on the skis and snowboard, my favourite things. I love doing this kind of stuff and I enjoy my evenings and weekends when I get my weekends off to do them. And a local guy called Sam has blessed me with his Burton Bullet 157 board to give it a bit of a detail. So we're going to clean the top coat. I do love the top coat, I'll be honest with you. It is really, really cool. There's loads of different ways of saying hello. So there's what's up, cheers, aloha, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think you'll agree, it's really quite cool. The condition of the board actually is very, very good, to be honest. There's not too badly any top coat damage. We'll give this a polish though. There's no like epoxy that I need to lay in just because I'm fussy, which is really, really nice. But like I say, we'll give it a polish. The underside though is seen some action, which is cool. So he's obviously a bit of a good rider, and he loves his rocks and off-piste by the looks of things, by the gouges and knocks. And but that's what we're here for, and we're going to make this thing look tip-top. So let's take a closer look at the base of this board. Right, aloha, as the board says on the front and also on the back. Cheers, really cool. Hi, all that jazz. Anyway, Burton Bullet. A bit dry in places. We've got some surplus wax. The edges aren't too bad, albeit they definitely need a sharpen. And then we'll dull and tip the toes and the tails so we don't reduce that catching area. But we've got some deep gouges that we need to sort out. We'll get the surplus of base out of that, and then we're going to PTEX this up. As you can see, it is quite dry, but also it's got, like I say, residue of wax on there. Some deep gouges down through the side, especially if you have a look down through this bit here. We're going to lay some clear PTEX, and again, this is definitely catching the backside of that rail, which we don't want to get any rust in there. So yeah, there's lots of little divots and gouges which will get sorted. A nice deep one just there, which you can see, and down this rail as well. So we'll get the rails tidied up, get them sorted, and then we're going to lay some wax down. So yeah, that is the bottom of the board. I think that discoloration there in the white is actually coming through from the top coat, possibly. I will do my best if it is on the top coat to clean that up, but I think that's possibly the transfer coming through because it's consistent throughout the whole of the white logo. But there's quite a few high spots, so we'll give this a good base scrape because there is scratches, as you can see just in the shadow there, going in every direction possible. So we'll try and get those all in one direction to give the board plenty of speed. But it's lovely to see the board being used for what it's for, ripping up the mountain. But yeah, so here we go, one Burton board. I'm going to pop you back in the stand then. I'm going to pop you on time lap, the normal routine, and we're going to get the edges done, get them lovely and sharp. Then going to work on the base. To this board, basically to get any surplus wax off, and to basically expose kind of all these areas that need to be filled in with PTEX, and also to get the wax out of that so you're not laying the PTEX on top of the wax. So that's a really key point. If you use a green scour pad, it won't damage the board, but what it will do is just basically pulls that wax out of the structure and then you can actually see how dry the board is. So all this white stuff is actually just kind of like dry material, and if you rub it, it comes off. So we'll scrape all that off, but what we will do first is lay down some fresh PTEX. I have gone around and cut out all the loose bits of material that are all in these gouges, just down through here, that being quite a big one there. And you can see the back of the, if I just get my tool a second, you can see where they're actually hitting the back of the rail, just there. And that's really important that we get that PTEX laid nice and deep in there. Now PTEX, you see people put all sorts of PTEX in. Now this is PTEX. I'm going to use clear because it's kind of a clear base opposed to putting black on. I do see some people online put black onto white, and it just kind of emulates. Some people like to see the battle scars. I try and hide them as much as possible. But what you've got to be really careful is when you're burning, you see this soot. Now with the white, you get that with the black, but not as much. It's still there, but you don't see it because obviously the PTEX stick is actually black. With the white that you see here, now you've got to try and not get this soot. So you've got to keep, when it's hot, extremely close to the metal scraper. And by doing so, rotate it, and then dripping just clear wax. You've got to let all that black soot run off, and then keep it extremely close. So you get a blue flame, not an orange flame. You do not want an orange flame, because that way then the soot is going into the PTEX and won't be as good as if you got clear PTEX going into the hole. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to pop you on time lapse. Like I say, the rails have come up lovely. These are, you can just see there from my nail, no pressure at all. Nice and sharp. They're ready to flow, and I've actually dull and tipped the edges already because I use a gummy stone for that, and I don't want to get any of that grit once I'm working on the softer base. And always use your brush to sweep. I have one for wax and I have one for metal. Hence metal, and I have one for wax, so we don't contaminate the base of the board. Anyway, I'm going to put you back in the stand. Let's crack on with this PTEX. Right, okay, so the board is nice and smooth now, as smooth as you can get it. All the PTEX has been filled in, we've cleaned the base, we've sharpened the edges, we've dulled the tips, and now it's time to apply the wax. Excuse the mask. I would always recommend you wearing one of these if you're PTEXing, because the stuff, it cannot be good for your lungs because it stinks, and don't ever get PTEX on your hands because it absolutely burns like anything. So yeah, I'm going to get the hairdryer just to warm the base up. But yeah, it's lovely and smooth. We've got good texture across the whole board. I've polished the top coat as well. This thing's going to look lovely in a minute. We're going to get the wax on. I'll lay it in the hot room for about 5-6 hours to make sure the pores of the board are open. I'll pop you on time lapse. I basically rub all the wax in, and then I basically do some very slow passes, feeling the underside of the board, making sure the temperature penetrates all the way through, keeping the warmth in the board, open the pores of this ski or slash snowboard up, which then the wax sinks into, and then we'll take the wax off with a plastic scraper, and then from the plastic scraper, we then give it a polish by using the horsehair brush and the polish brushes, and that will then give it its shine. And then we'll zard off Teflon the edges just to protect those between now and when it hits the slopes. That's the process of snowboard waxing and maintenance, really. Bit of attention to detail, bit of care, a lot of love. It's what I love doing. So guys, stay tuned. You'll see a before and after as well at the end. So I always like to do that so you can see the difference in the board. Let's crack on, get the wax on. Right, okay, so this board is all out of the hot room and it's now sat in this nice cool workshop of mine because it is freezing out here and that's wax has gone nice and hard. So we're going to get this wax scraped off and then we're going to use a sequence of brushes. I use electronic brushes, basically a hard and a soft, and that will just pull the hard one will pull all the little ball bearings of wax out of the structure of the board, and then we'll go over and polish it with this. And yeah, you'll see a massive difference. And then this board is absolutely tip-top and ready to fly, ready to hit the slopes. And again, I would always recommend getting your kit serviced because it costs a lot of money to go skiing. It's like having a car, not servicing it, but take it on a racetrack. You want it to be in the tip-top condition before you hit those slopes. And not only that, it'll save damaging your board and also damaging yourself by it not holding an edge on the ice, etc. and falling. Right, we're going to get into this, then we'll have a look at the before and after. Ooh, I like this bit. Let's crack on. A massive transformation. From the top to the bottom, you've got definition, you've got structure, and you've got a very good edge. Always wax your skis and your snowboard. Wow, this board has come up fantastically well. I am so pleased, and I think you'll agree from that before and after, we've got the great definition in the base of this board. It looks superb. It is so smooth, and it is so polished. The edges are ready to rip. Been fully coated. Again, for the age of this board, this is in tip-top condition. I am really pleased with this. Really pleased, as I am with all the boards that I do, because I spend a lot of time, love and care that goes into them. And it's all done by hand, as you've seen. So I think you'd agree. That looks absolutely amazing. And this is, like I say, going to Sam in a local village of mine where actually I grew up. So yeah. Like I say, heart and soul goes into everything that I do, and I'm really pleased with this. This is absolutely going to be ready to fly. I'll wrap this up as I do when deliver it back to him, and then it's just a case of bolting on those bindings, making sure you get your 15 degrees or whatever it is, your stance, your regular, your goofy, get that set up and dialed in. And always do check your bindings, make sure your toe strap and your ankle straps are good. Everything's obviously screwed in nice and tight, so the first day you jump on those bindings, you don't have a problem, because this board is ready for some serious action. So guys, thank you very much indeed for watching. Thank you obviously for my recent subscribers, but do hit that like, but most importantly, share these videos, get it out there. Like I say, if you're in the local area of Devon, Exeter, I'll be more than happy to service your skis, your snowboards. I did have somebody mention that they love the channel, which is really amazing, and I'm really grateful for that. And they wanted to send their skis to me and their boards and stuff for me to actually service, which I'd love to do. But if anybody's got any ideas around this postage system, how I can actually send a big tube to someone, they can send me their skis back or whatever, so I can actually get on and service skis from further afield, that'd be amazing. So if anybody's watching this that owns a haulage company or works for, or owns DHL or Royal Mail or whoever, every deliveries or whatever it is, that'd be amazing. But otherwise, local people get to benefit from this. Hit that like though, hit that subscribe. But until next time, guys, we will see you soon.